Welcome back to part 3 of this tutorial series, whereby we are intending to create a Laravel application using Vue.js and Inertia Js as a single page application. My name is William, and in this section I would like us to just continue, because in the previous section we were able to create a form, and we have been able to link our form with the controller, and then we can be able to load this form via controller, but we have not submitted anything yet. So what I want us to do is go ahead and see how possible is it for us to be able to register a customer. So I would like us to just go ahead and see how we can be able to do this. Now in our customer controller, I want us to have another method which we are going to call store. So public function store. In this case, this method is the one that we are going to use to store a customer. So in this case, I can use request like that, and then we can be able to do validation just the normal way we do it in Laravel. And so we are going to just have a validated, and we are going to say request validate, and we have several things that in this case we will be validating. And the first thing, of course, is the name. The first thing is a name, and in this case for the name we can just say that it is required, and maybe a maximum of 255. And then the email, also for the email we can have it that it is required, because even in our table we have not set it as nullable, so let us make it a must for somebody to put it. We can say that it must be an email. And then also we can also set a constraint, and we can say that it is unique for the table customers. So in this case we do not want a scenario where two people are having or are sharing the same email, because it will bring unforeseeable challenges in our application. Then we have phone, and then this one is also required, and then I can say it should be unique to the table customers. So each member should have just a unique phone. Maybe we can say the maximum number of digits in a phone number, maybe 14. Maybe we can say the minimum number of digits is 10, and maybe we can go ahead and say that it's numeric, and so on and so forth. But that is not really what we are so much interested in, because I know that one you can be able to do very well. Now the next thing we are going to do is to save this customer. So we are going to say customer, we are calling the customer model, create, and since we have validated our data, we can just simply say validated, just like that, to be able to save this customer that we have created. And then the next thing we can do is to just redirect, and maybe I will just say return redirect, route, and in this case let me just say customers dot index. We have not created this route yet, and we have not even created the index file, but within the scope of this tutorial we will not do that, but I will just go ahead and create this route such that we do not get an error. So let me just go to routes again and create that file. So we're going to have route, and we're actually creating two, the one for storage of our data, and then this other one for the index. So we will have it as a get route for the index, and we're just going to have customers. I'm attempting to, just like that, I'm attempting to just follow the Laravel convention of naming. So in this case we have customer class, customer controller class, and then the method is index, and then we will have it as a named route, and we have called it what have we called it? We have called it what? While saving it, we have called it customers.index in our controller. So the name in this case is let me just move this such that you can be able to clearly see. The name is customers.index, like that. So we just have it as a named route, like that. So I believe up to here we can be able to redirect to this route, even though you have nothing. But then I also want to have a post route for storing our customers, in this case the customer data. So also customers, and then we will have the controller, customer controller class, and in this case we are calling the store method, and I think that is just that. I will not do anything more than that. So let us go back to our form and see if we can be able to submit a request. And so our form is actually in resources, pages, create.vue, and probably with the time we will move it to a different folder, but for now let it just sit there. And I just want to show you that when we call the customers, we are actually calling the store method as according to how we have set it in our controller here, because as you can see, this method that you're having here is a post request. So let us go back here, and I want to do a few more things. I want us to also, apart from being able to post this form, I want us also to be able to capture the errors. And so for us to be able to catch the errors and display, for example, if a user has not submitted some data, we will have props here. So we are going to have define props, and then inside here, among the props that we have one that is called errors, and that is what will be returned whenever we get validation errors from the Laravel backend. It will be saved in this variable called errors, and then we can be able as an object, and then we can be able to iterate and display. So I will save this, and then we now can be able to access and show the errors as follows. So the errors that are related to the name, let me just reduce some of these things because this form seems to be too long. Let me remove that, and then now here we can be able to just have our display the errors. So in this case, for the first error is an error whereby we have name. So in this case, I'm just going to say to have a div, and as you can see, we are using Bootstrap, but yet still, if you want to use any other thing, you can be able to use. So I have text danger, and div with a class text danger, and maybe text small, extra small in this case. And then after that, we are going to have v if. So we are checking in our props, in our error props, if we have errors relating to the name input. And in this case, if we have those errors, then we are going to display them. We are going to display them. So here we are going to have errors.name like that, and then I will do the same for all the other inputs. So I will copy this, and below what we have here under email, I will also paste the same thing here, and here now it is errors.email, and then here we are displaying also errors.email. Then we will also go ahead and also paste the same line under the input, and we are also going to have errors.phone like that, and errors.phone that way. Now, since in our controller we are doing the validation, I think I can attempt to click on submit and see what happens. You can see it's loading nicely, but somehow we are not able to display our errors. Maybe let me refresh. Yes, now we are able to display the errors. So you can see I had not inputted anything. So when I click, we are getting name field is required, email field is required, the phone field is required, and all these errors are coming from the Laravel end. And if we are to check, if we are to inspect and just check under network, again, if I attempt to do that, you can see we are having a post request that is going to customers, and then we are having a 302. So in other words, we are having a redirect back to the same page. And when we check this and the response that we have, we can see we have the component is create, and the props we have the errors that are being listed. So as you can see, these ones are coming from the Laravel backend. Now I would like us to go ahead and be able to save the user once we have been able to type the correct information. But in our controller, there is something that I have not been able to do. I've not been able to call in the customer model. So in this case, if we just attempt to submit using this, or in other words, customer create, we are going to get an error. So let me just import the model here, and then I think you'll be fine and good to go. So here we can say use app models, and then we are going to have customer like that. So let us go back to our form and refresh and attempt to maybe write the name. So we can write the name maybe William J, and if we submit, you can see I've not written the email and whatever, and those ones are the ones that we are having as errors. And here we can have William at example.com as our email, and the phone number we need a minimum of 10 digits, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, like that. And then now if we submit this, we expect that this information will be saved in the database. So let me go ahead and run our database. In this case, we are going to have, I'm using XAMPP because I'm working on Windows. So you can, so we will start Apache and MySQL such that we are connected to the database. Then I will go ahead also and just in our env, in our .env file, I want us to be able to set our database, and in this case I'm going to call our database maybe Laravel Vue, something of that sort, and save. And then obviously in terminal I want to do the migration, so I will create a new terminal, and then I'm going to have php artisan migrate, and it says very nice, very nice. In fact, this one I think is very nice for us to see. I have not created this database in my MySQL. So you see it says the database does not exist on MySQL connection. Would you like to create it? You can see this one is very nice from Laravel. So it just gives me a prompt and I can say yes by typing a Y, and it has created the database, and it has also done the migrations, and I think that one is very cool. Are you clear? And then now I want us to go ahead and attempt again to submit, but before we do that I want to just show you what we have. It's taking a while to connect to a database. Maybe I can just, oh, it's already there. So we have a database called Laravel Vue, and inside here, as you can see, we have the customers table. This one here is what we are interested in, and currently when you look inside the customers table, it has nothing. Let me just maybe do a little bit of zooming in, maybe zooming out. Yes, and so you can see we have customers, yet still we are not able to see much. Yes, you can see it has nothing. It has 0 rows. So I want us to click here and see if we can be able to have this user created. So let me again have William, and then the email William at maybe, yes, William at example.net, and then the phone, like that, and I want to submit. You can see it's loading here, and it's telling us app HTTP controllers redirect is not found. But I believe that first of all, if we have reached redirect, then it means we have been able to save our user. So I want us to just click on customers, and as you can see, we have one user who is already saved in the database. So let me just solve this error, and then once we are able to solve that error, it will be done for this tutorial. So what we are going to do, there is something that I have not imported. So in this case, we are going to just type in here, maybe use illuminate support facades, and then redirect. Obviously you can also just say use redirect. I believe it will work for many facades. That is what I usually do most of the times. So I want to save another user, and so I will just go back and visit customers, create. Again, we have our form here, and here I want to say James, and maybe James Doe, and email James at example.com. the phone number, maybe something of that sort. Submit, and you can see it says index does not exist, yet still we have been able to save. So let me solve this error, and then once we are able to solve it, we will be done with this tutorial. And as you can see, this one is talking about a method index. So in this case, we have not created the index method. So I'll just go ahead and create the index method here. So here we have create and we have store. So maybe public function index, like that. And that is our index method. It can remain empty like that for now. So I would like to just go back again and save one more user. If it saves without any error, then we can say that we have been able to save a user in the database, and that will be the end of this tutorial. So I want to have John Doe, and in this case John at example.com, and the phone number like that. Submit, and now you can see it is saving, and then we are having no further issues. But when we check our database now, we expect to have 3 users saved inside there. And as you can see, we have William, we have James Doe, and we have John Doe. And up until this point, I think it is good enough for me to stop this tutorial here. We will continue with the next tutorial. And if you have not subscribed, I ask that you may support me by subscribing to this channel, such that I can be encouraged to create more useful videos in future. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. You can also share, you can also comment if there is an issue that you would like me to address. Thank you very much.